Angela, we kick off with an extraordinary story today from the usually very mild-mannered BBC presenter Mishal Husain, who has made it completely obvious what we both knew all along. Meghan Markle lied about the claims she made on Netflix about her engagement interview with Prince Harry. So you'll remember in the Netflix series, Meghan Markle tried to say it was some sort of reality show. It was all orchestrated, she said. Well, Mishal Husain has hit back in Saga magazine saying that when the Duchess of Sussex said that my engagement interview with her and Harry was an orchestrated reality show, I didn't know what to make of it. They seem to have thought through what their new lives would be like and what marriage would mean for her life in particular. There was nothing that pointed to what would happen. It was two people who were just full of joy in each other's lives. Now, Meghan had just lied about this, Angela. She had said the interview was rehearsed, and that just wasn't true, was it?
No, I mean, here we have an amazing example of Meghan that actually, if she gets something, she still wants to push it away. If you remember that her wedding cost the Queen £32 million. And she said when she spoke to her interview with Oprah Winfrey that she didn't want anything like that because it was just for all the plebs. She wanted something that was just really important, but nobody else was there. And she said there was Harry, her, and the Archbishop of Canterbury. The Archbishop of Canterbury nearly blew himself out the road because he had to apologise to everybody because it looked as if he'd broken the rules. You can't marry somebody twice in a week. It was 3 days before she said this. You can't marry a couple if they're not people there to sign, and you can't do that unless you're in a place you can do. So she did that already with Oprah, and now when she got, this is before, isn't it? Before, when she had this engagement, which was lovely. I watched it twice, 3 times because I was so happy for Harry. And then she sort of spoils everything because nothing is good enough for her. And if she can attack something, she will. I mean, as you said, Mishal Husain is highly thought of, and she's obviously thought about this for 4 years before she's made a comment about it, and says that it's absolutely not true. And the BBC Director General, Lord Hull, has also said it absolutely isn't true. And you could tell, I mean, I've interviewed loads of people in my journalistic life, and I thought she'd done a lovely job. She seemed to me kind. She asked them how she felt about, living a royal life. And she was so giggly and looking at Harry with these sort of eyes, I adore you, my Harry. It was all so phony. And how she could then say that on the television to Netflix, just so she created something as what a hard deal she had. It's absolutely astonishing that she could do that. And I'm very pleased that Michelle has now done something about it and said it's not true, I don't know what she was talking about. They seemed very happy. She said they looked like they were a couple in love, and that was it. I was asked to do it, and I did it.
Totally.
I think she was obviously furious for ages and now has decided to say something.
Yeah, because what Meghan never thinks about, because she doesn't care about anyone other than herself, Angela, is that these lies actually have a real knock-on effect. Because if Mishal Husain had agreed to rehearse an interview while working for the BBC, she should be sacked from the BBC. That would be a complete dereliction of her journalistic duty. But we know that it simply didn't happen. No BBC journalist rehearses an interview. Now, look, I don't agree with Mishal Husain's politics. I often think on the Today programme she can be very biased when she's interviewing people like Nigel Farage. But I do believe she is a proper, solid journalist who would not do what Meghan suggested. And it's very obvious too. Let's have a look, actually, Angela, at some of the interview, because, as you say, she did a very professional job, and I'll get you to react to some more off the back.
Royal Highness Meghan Markle, congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Can we start with the proposal and the actual moment of your engagement? When did it happen? How did it happen?
It happened a few weeks ago, earlier this month, here at our cottage. Just a standard, typical night for us.
It's a cozy night. It was what we're doing, just roasting chicken
Trying to roast a chicken.
Trying to roast a chicken, and it was just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural and very romantic. He got on one knee.
Of course.
Was it an instant yes from you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I could barely let you finish proposing. I was like, can I say yes now?
She didn't even let me finish. She said, can I say yes, can I say yes now? And then there was hugs, and I had the ring in my finger, and I was like, can I give you the ring? And she goes, oh yes, the ring. So no, it was a really nice moment. It was just the two of us, and I think I managed to catch her by surprise as well. So.
Yeah.
And do you know what? The only person lying, Angela, about what happened during the engagement was Meghan Markle herself. Because in the Netflix show, we actually discovered, because she shared the footage, that she had filmed the proposal on her mobile phone. So it wasn't a surprise. It wasn't this great romantic moment when they were cooking chicken like she made out. So it's them who is presenting a completely inaccurate version of the engagement, not Mishal Husain.
Yeah. The interesting thing as well is that it's showing how naive Meghan is that she said she wanted Oprah Winfrey to interview her because she was a friend of hers. She wasn't really at that time, but anyway, this is what she asked for. But can you imagine? You don't do that at the BBC. You don't have American people coming over and interviewing somebody in the UK. You have someone here who is in the UK. It's our excitement. It's our luck to have that. It wouldn't have been Oprah in any way, but see, she doesn't think in the round, does she? I mean, there's lots of comments to say that she doesn't smell the room when she gets there, that she can't make judgments of what the atmosphere is like. But this is another thing. I mean, you don't ask somebody from another country to come over here, and maybe just because she would be a yes woman, but I don't think that's appalling, isn't it, really?
Well, it is, because you're right. Richard Eden, who broke the story in the Daily Mail today, reported that Meghan had complained that Mishal Husain wasn't, quote, empathetic enough, wasn't warm enough to conduct the interview. But as Richard said, Meghan suggests that the attack left her... Mishal suggests that the attack left her bewildered, and far from Meghan being the naive victim of some coordinated establishment plot, she and Harry appeared to have given much thought to what they would say about their plans. And as I say, I just repeat again, it was them who was lying about what happened.
Yes. As I know, I heard from friends that Meghan was quite difficult because she only wanted specific questions. And so she's a sharp cookie and all that. She needs control. She wants to say exactly what she wants, and she doesn't want anyone interrupting. And I thought Mishal did it very nicely. She obviously seemed very pleased for them. And that it was lovely, and it was very sort of lovey-dovey, and she went along with it. It's a terrible thing to say about somebody, actually, because it can ruin their work and how they've behaved for years. And, you might disagree with her with all sorts of reasons, but she did a decent interview and was quite warm, I thought.
Exactly. And as you say, it was Meghan who was difficult because she doesn't believe in journalism, Angela. What she believes in is PR. And paid PR. So she expects copy approval. She expects to read the questions beforehand. She expects to only be interviewed by her friends. And Mishal Husain was not going to provide the questions beforehand. She was not going to rehearse. And it feels like Meghan, even though actually Mishal Husain did a nice job, Meghan is just out to destroy this woman. And it's insane. It's utterly insane. But I've only promised to talk to you about products on this show that are actually life-changing. Now, this one, it's a bit more fun. A little bit more personal too, but the fellas watching, you'll completely get it. And if you're watching as a lady, then this is the perfect treat for your husband or boyfriend, which benefits you as well. Because the days of using the same trimmer for your face and the parts below are now over. thanks to our friends at Manscaped. So I've come up with the ultimate package to keep you trimmed from 12 to 6. So I'm going to tell you now about the Beard and Balls bundle, which features the Lawnmower 5.0 and the Beard Hedger. Great names, but not talking about this sort of lawnmower, folks. Because if your man has started to attack himself like an out-of-control lawnmower, you can stop him by getting precision trimming for all areas, even the sensitive ones, and get him as manicured as your freshly cut grass. So I'm talking about a trimmer for the moneymaker, another for the boys downstairs. This trimmer gets it right the first time, being gentle on the skin in all your delicate places. And let me tell you about the technology behind it. It's amazing. 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads. You can choose between a precise trim or a smooth finish. And it's waterproof too, so you can trim in the shower. Next, I want to talk about the Beard Hedger. So this is perfect whether you're going for neat stubble or a full-on lumberjack type of look, because it's got a titanium-coated stainless steel T-blade, and this is what I love, 20 length options, which means you can achieve any style you want just by twisting the brilliant zoom wheel. Now, just like the lawnmower, the Beard Hedger is also waterproof, so you can handle your beard grooming right in the sink or shower without worrying about water damage. And with 60 minutes of runtime and an LED charge indicator, you'll never be caught mid-trim. With a dead battery, it's genuinely a gentle product. No more cuts. You'll keep your loved ones very happy and increase your confidence too if it's for you. Really good deal today. 20% off and free shipping. You just have to use the code outspoken.com. Use the code outspoken and do it at manscaped.com. Let me repeat myself. 20% off, free shipping. You use the code outspoken and just type it in at manscaped.com. No more juggling multiple tools or dealing with subpar results. Just efficient, effective grooming wherever you need it. For the premium grooming experience, trust Manscaped.
She likes to knock people on the head that they're never good enough. She's one of these women, I'm afraid. There are not many of us, but there's one of the things that nothing is ever good enough. And I think Meghan has proved that to us over the 4 years that we've known her. And it's now coming back against her. People are fed up with it. She's not a victim. She pretends she's a victim, but she's not.
No, I think that's a very fair point. Now, this is also really terrible, Angela. Prince Harry upstaged young Prince George's lovely birthday release of those pictures by Catherine Middleton by announcing on the same day that the Invictus Games are going to be held in Birmingham in 2027. And look, I'm sure Catherine and William weren't worried about this, but it does just show you how pathetic Harry is, isn't it? It's like he knew it was George's birthday. He knew the picture was going to be released. It's taken by Catherine. He wants to steal the thunder with his Invictus Games announcement. It's just pathetic game playing yet again.
Well, it's such a shame. I think Meghan likes to do that. We've seen that so many times. Every time the royal family, as we know it, do something, she has to do something just before, an hour before, or just as it's happening. And it's all carefully controlled. I mean, I've been told several times that she knows exactly what she's doing. It's not a mistake. She's very cautious. So she's doing that. And Harry, I suppose, was told this is what he had to do. And so he did it. I'm surprised it's come to Birmingham because they're very short of money. And nowadays in Invictus Games, Harry and Meghan ask her for quite a lot of money for Meghan's clothes, hotels that they stay in. Sometimes they want them redecorated and new bed wear put for them, and eating. They can eat very expensive restaurants. And the Invictus Games is having a very, very hard deal with how much money they've got. I think they're £30 million short at the moment. I mean, it's a long way to 2027, but nonetheless, it's no longer the same thing. A lot of people don't like
it. And it feels like they're in I was just going to say, it feels like they're in a bit of crisis at the moment, Angela, because Dominic Reed, who was the chief executive of the Invictus Games, has announced that he is quitting. Now, this could maybe have something to do with Harry accepting the Pat Tillman award against the wishes of Pat Tillman, even though I know they both released very lovey-dovey statements about each other. What do you think's going on with this departure? Because it's yet another senior figure in Prince Harry's life walking away from him.
I haven't found out exactly yet. I hope I don't have to wait 4 years as I found out about Meghan. But he's been working there for 10 years, and he's been absolutely Harry's right hand. He's done masses of work and good ideas. It is unusual for someone to leave just before something is coming up in the Winter Olympic Games, Invictus Games, and it could easily be that he just decided that that was a short straw, but we don't actually know that. He might have got another job offer and decided to do it, but I think if he was really keen still on it, he would have stayed for a bit longer so that it wouldn't make things very difficult, because to have somebody new in, you've got to teach them, and it's very hard for them to work out exactly what's going, especially with people like Harry and Meghan. And a lot of them don't like it anymore because it's too much about Harry and Meghan. Meghan gives the speeches, Meghan wants to be in front of marching, and I think people don't like it anymore. It's lost its real feeling of need and working together, because they're secondary to Harry and Meghan.
Yes,
the victims are secretaries.
Exactly. It's all about pushing Harry and Meghan, because this is the only thing that remains in their orbit that's actually at all successful. But Angela, look, I want to talk to you about this incredible GoFundMe that has been set up by Lady Colin Campbell for Thomas Markle Sr. Now, he turned 80 this week, and I really want to stress, I've spoken to Lady C about this. This was not something that anyone in the Markle family asked her to do. She did it completely off her own back. And she's explained why by saying, many people have suggested that I spearhead this fundraiser to meaningfully note Thomas Markle Sr.'s 80th birthday. He has been exceedingly time and money over the years, as I have learnt from the teachers at his daughter's school, who could not sing his praises highly enough. His kindness and generosity are well known in the film community, and I agree that now he has been rejected and abandoned by the daughter, those of us who wish to show him solidarity and give him the acknowledgement he should be getting from the actual recipient of his largesse will hopefully, through our contributions, no matter how small, demonstrate to him that there are still good people in the world with good hearts, good values and good intentions. Hopefully our actions provide him with the comfort he deserves in more ways than one in his declining days. And already something like, £3,000 or maybe even more by now has been raised in just 24 hours. It's got a £10,000 target. And of course, Angela, Thomas Markle paid entirely for Meghan's education. He raised her through all of her teenage years, yet now, in his hour of need, when he does require very expensive medical care because he suffered from this life-threatening stroke, his daughter is nowhere to be seen.
It's very, very sad indeed. I think 80 is an extraordinary age to get to, and you are still okay-ish, but you're also getting old, and you want to be loved, and you can't do so much, so you rely on the people who are part of your family, if you have a family. And he adored Meghan, and you can see from all the photographs that we've seen going back that she adored him. She was always cuddling him and having a very nice time, and she owes a lot to him. But again, Meghan wants to destroy these things. I don't know why she actually wanted to destroy him before the wedding, but nonetheless, that she can't somehow see him and let him see his grandchildren. I would imagine that even though he thought it was very unlikely, he longed to hear from her, and he longed perhaps to hear a little child saying, "Happy birthday, Grandpa." That would do it in a way, if he couldn't get her there. And I think it's extremely cruel not to pretend he's not there. Very, very cruel indeed.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please do subscribe if you want lots more clips and interviews like that. Plus, if you want to watch our totally uncensored after show, then visit www.outspoken.live.